We are going to be moderators, co-moderators of this roundtable. There is the President Confederation of Youth Leaders of India, and I'm actually the member of coordinating council of the Eurasian Youth Assembly, and as well as I'm the head of the project at the Alexander Gorchakov Public Diplomacy Fund. And first of all, we would like to start with the briefings of the participants. And the floor now is going to be to Dr. Mailto, who is the chairman of board and chairman of BRICS CCI. So it's a pleasure to see you here, and the floor is yours.
We'd like to start this.
Your short speech. Мы хотели бы начать наше выступление с выступления уважаемого доктора Маилто.
It's not required. We already have mic.
It's a great opportunity for me to welcome all of you at this college. This is the whole school of management. The name was NCU, and this was set up in 1981. 1981, we started as a research and organization to do research in management-related issues in the area. But later on, we also started management education in the sense that we started an MBA program. And we have been teaching for more than 30 years now. And also we are conducting PhD classes as well for students who want to do studies in management. Now today, we stand here because today we have about 1,000 studying in these professors. They are doing management, and I would request that all of your country, all of the countries which are associated with you, to consider India as another destination for higher education, because we provide good quality education comparable to many of the advanced countries, and at a fee which is almost 1/3 of the fee that you pay in developed countries. So this is something which is possible for India to provide. Management education is one area. Another area where where India can be a lead is the development of technology, particularly technology related to information technology, IT related research and other things that we do. India is growing in a very fast way. So this is another area, and there's a lot of things which can be shared with us. Is that the culture, the legacy of Indian culture. So much so that there were people who were born in India thousands of years ago who were also great authors and writers on areas like Chanakya. The philosophy is taught in Germany, in France, other countries. Which is a kind of diplomacy related subject. So this is one such thing which India can give to the rest of the world, how to manage things and how to develop relations. So this is a country where you have many things you can get from here, and I'm sure that you get a good impression of your visit and lead to developing new areas of growth for mutually advantage, for mutual advantage. Thank you very much for coming here. You are most welcome to offer myself to India and in general. Thanks a lot, and I'm sure that you will enjoy this day. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I would like to introduce Mr. Andre Villeneuve, who's he's the Secretary General and the head of the General Secretary of the European People.
Добрый день, уважаемые дамы и господа. Поблагодарить хозяев сегодняшнего обсуждения. Я хотел бы поблагодарить также за вчерашний день, он был очень плодотворный. Особенно хочу выделить, пусть хозяин не обижается, господина Бабарсинка, нашего общего друга. Вчера было 10 человек, членов индийского парламента. Я столько много не видел никогда одновременно. Ну, по телевизору видел больше, конечно. Сегодня мы обсуждаем то, что связано с будущим, подрастающим поколением, поэтому люди моего поколения лучше пока давайте помолчат, послушаем то, что нас ждет в самом недалеком будущем, чуть дальше. Собственно, ради этого направлена деятельность Ассамблеи народов Евразии. Направлена в будущее, направлена на работу с молодыми людьми. И вчера был очень интересный момент. Маленькая девочка, ей, наверное, 2 года, она из Дели, она разрезала ленточку, мы открывали выставку детского рисунка. Вот ради таких детей, ради ее брата, маленького брата, там ему полгода, по-моему, вот, наверное, и направлена деятельность всех нас, нашей ассамблеи, присутствующие, которые еще не являются членами ассамблеи, мы приглашаем, у нас открытые двери, тем более, что нас объединяет много, и вот повестка сегодняшнего дня. Я вам всем благодарен. Давайте начнем работать.
Перед тем, как мы начнем работу объявления, в итоге данного круглого стола состоит подписание 2 соглашений, которые будут, мне кажется, хорошим таким заключением нашей сегодняшней работы. Dear colleagues, today after the end of this session, there is going to be two procedures of signing cooperation agreement. The first one between International Union of Non-Governmental Organizations, Eurasian People's Assembly, and BRICS Chamber of Commerce and the Industry. And the second one is going to be, I suppose, with the Confederation of Young Leaders. Yes. And so this is going to be the good end for today's meeting. And so I think it's going to be very nice to welcome all of our onliners, because we have plenty of them today. And I think it's going to be better to give the floor to Shahidinov Askar Dr. Bekovich, yes, the chairman of the Youth Congress of Kyrgyzstan. He's going to welcome us from and can you hear us? Сказали, что он подключится просто.
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. Рад вас видеть. Благодарю за приглашение, за участие в такую очень интересную международную конференцию. Я здесь вижу наших партнеров, Денис Борисович и другие наши коллеги, наши партнеры. Рад вас видеть, даже хотя бы онлайн. Вот сегодня такой очень хороший, географическая, такая обширная тематика идет. Я вот видел БРИКС, ШОС, ЕАЭС. Это можно сказать, целое наше будущее, наша вот интеграция вот в целом, наша молодежь. Мы с Ассамблеей народов Евразии успели уже в прошлом году совместно реализовать нашу такую интересную площадку вот в рамках ЕС. То, что вот прошло в прошлом году у нас в Кыргызстане, наши жемчужины в Иссыкуле. Мы уже поняли то, что интеграционные вопросы именно вот в рамках ЕС и ШОС и БРИКС на сегодняшний день это такое очень актуально. Я бы хотел вот предлагать то, что после ковида, если мы вот немножко заметили, такое вот пассивное настроение идет, если вот, я думаю, не даст соврать мои коллеги, нам надо активизировать вот интеграционные вопросы именно вот в рамках БРИКС, ШОС, ЕС, именно вот в сфере молодежной политики. Для нас вот, наша вот интеграционная площадка – это показатель именно вот процентного вот соотношения, даже вот даже потенциал молодежи очень высокий, поэтому мы должны направить правильное русло для развития наших молодежи в плане образования и других проектах. Я бы предлагал вот в сфере молодежной политики вот развивать в наших площадках предпринимательские вот форумы, в сфере туризма. Я думаю, наша вот площадка вот в рамках ШОС очень такой есть потенциал именно развития туризма, молодежного туризма и предпринимательства. На сегодняшний день в сфере даже вот межвузовские отношения нашими странами в прошлом году от наших вот форуме вот ЕАЭС, молодежь в форуме ЕАЭС, мы видели то, что молодежь, они ко всему открыта. Но надо дать такой толчок для реализации новых проектов и новых интеграционных проектов именно вот в рамках ЕАЭС, ШОС. Ну, мы видим то, что до этого тоже вот недавно в Индии был молодежный вот совет стран ШОС. Нам надо и вот в рамках ШОС более вот обширные проекты, надо дать новый импульс. До 2020 года, я думаю, было все хорошо. И потихоньку, я думаю, у нас в будущем будут очень интересные проекты. Вот, и как я выше предлагал, вот в сфере образования, туризм, IT, то, что вот у нас сейчас в Кыргызстане вот наша молодежь более такого в этих направлениях очень они заинтересованы. Есть проекты, также вот предпринимательство. Я думаю, если мы будем на будущее вот такую интеграционную дорожную карту мы определим, я думаю, у нас все впереди. Выражаю всем благодарность, что за внимание, за приглашение. Я очень надеюсь, что и офлайн у нас будут встречи, обсуждение наших проектов. Молодежь Кыргызстана всегда готов, открыть на участие, на совместное сотрудничество. Еще раз благодарю.
It was very, I think, insightful and inspiring, and we're now going to Shastri Sami, the president of Confederation of Young Leaders of India, and I hope you're going to tell us about the future projects with especially with his wing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here and discussing about the youth. As you're all aware, 65% and our Honorable Prime Minister has been advocating the youth empowerment issue. In that motive, we started with the organization called Confederation of Young Leaders. Now we have over 60,000 members, young youth within the age of under the bracket of 18 to 30 in our organization. We have been actively participating in youth exchange programs in more than 27 nations right now. There have been delegations going actively every year to all these nations. In spite of COVID, we were able to provide with mental training health programs. We were able to create an helping program where oxygen concentrators to medicines were provided during the COVID. The youth brigade that we led was recognized by most of the state governments. by CMs and the district magistrates, and we recognize more than 600 district magistrates in India for our commendable work. We have been actively promoting track to diplomacy. Cultural exchange is very, very important in the consideration of young leaders. We believe that, SCO and BRICS have the youth body, which is very, very strong. Since the inception, we have been holding events globally, and we have actively participated with them. And I feel all organizations should give strength. Now it's time to strengthen the youth part. And I'm very glad that Eurasian people is also working towards youth. And after this partnership, we're going to take it to new heights. And that's what we are hoping for. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so much. I would now like to introduce Victoria, Chair of the Scholar Network Youth Platform, to say a point of view today. Yeah.
Yes, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, distinguished guests and hosts, ladies and gentlemen, for the invitation today. I'm really excited to be at the roundtable at this discussion on the new generation of Eurasia. And my name is Victoria Hu, I'm Chinese Russian, and today I'll be delivering the speech in English since we are having India as our chair country. So today at Scholar, the work that we've been doing in the past 6 years was always about commitment on building the brighter future for the young people of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization region and beyond. And Scholar Network as a platform was established 6 years ago, and it's a platform that aims at bringing leaders from the SCO countries and the Eurasian region to strengthen connectivity, promote dialogue, and contribute to regional development. Our mission is to positively impact 1 billion youth by 2050. And we believe that by working together, we can achieve this ambitious goal, because this region is so young and so dynamic, and we're excited to work every day with youngsters coming and living in the SCO countries. So at Scholar, we take the Shanghai spirit as principles to guide and strengthen the role of the youth in developing the countries of the Eurasian region as a whole. And one of the focuses of our work is in volunteering movement, which is also a focus of today's discussion. And we are right now growing 12 hubs in 12 different cities of 9 countries, including the New Delhi hub. We work with partners in every city, with universities, institutions, with government bodies to build together projects on cross-culture and education. And through these projects, we aim to promote cross-cultural communication and cross-cultural education among the communities of youngsters. In addition to the volunteering movement, we're also proud to have 2 flagship projects that are making a real difference in the lives of young people in the SCO region. And the first one is Model SCO. That is an educational interactive game that simulates the work of the bodies of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Delegates represent SCO member and observer states, and consensus here is the main decision-making principle. This game has both educational goals and also gives delegates the opportunity to study international relations and diplomacy, improve writing skills, communicate with international students from other SCO countries, work in teams and lead discussions, developing new ideas and projects. We've organized in total 16 Model SCO conferences and are aiming to do many more. The second flagship project is the Russian Language Club, which provides young people with the opportunity to learn and practice Russian, the working language of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization countries. And through the club, we aim to promote language learning and cultural exchange between young people in the SCO region. Furthermore, we strongly believe in the power of education as a tool for building bridges between different countries and communities. And this is why we have been working tirelessly to establish partnerships with universities across the SCO and Eurasian region to promote exchanges among young people. Through university exchanges, we hope to facilitate the sharing of knowledge, ideas, and experiences between students of different countries. And we believe that by providing young people with opportunities to study abroad and to learn from their peers in other countries, we can promote cross-cultural understanding and build a more interconnected and collaborative world. Lastly, I would like to express our hope for building stronger connectivity and bonds with India as a chair country of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I myself have been to Hyderabad once, and it was a wonderful experience. And we also believe that there are many opportunities for collaboration and exchange between India and the SEO region or within the SEO region. And we hope to work closely with our partners, both in India and other SEO and BRICS countries, to promote greater understanding and collaboration and cooperation between young people of our region. In conclusion, I'd like to mention that Scholar is committed in promoting the development and empowerment of young people in the SEO countries and beyond. And we believe that by working together, we can build a brighter future for our region and for the world. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. And we'll look forward to be working together and having an offline, in-person interaction. Thank you so much for the invitation today. Спасибо.
Please, I would like to introduce Kavella Diana, Deputy Head of the Project Office for International Cooperation, Russia BRICS.
Thank you, Daria. Is it possible to turn my presentation on, please? Well, good afternoon, dear friends. I'm very happy to be a part of your this conference. I would like to share the information about the Russia BRICS Project Office for International Youth Cooperation, which I represent here. Thank you. Do you have a clicker? Or I should say next slide. Oh. Well, you may already know these figures, but let me remind you. So what is BRICS? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. So what does mean BRICS? The alliance consists of 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. BRICS covers 27% of the Earth's territory, more than 40% of the world population, and 31% of the world's GDP. The next slide, please. And the next slide. Okay. The Russia BRICS Project Office for International Youth Cooperation is based in the city of Ulyanovsk, Russia. It was founded by the Federal Agency for Youth Affairs in September 2020. And since then, different projects designed to support and improve cross-cultural ties between young people from the BRICS countries are being conducted by our team. The next slide, please. The goal of our project office is to unite the efforts of federal and regional government bodies, public organizations, the students community, in order to support the systemic interaction of young people and youth organizations in Russia and the BRICS countries, including India. We work in different humanitarian directions. Here they are. What are the main challenges the BRICS youth faces today? We definitely need to increase the number of information channels for BRICS youth to discuss the measures of state support for youth initiatives and to create a common youth platform for all BRICS countries. So let me tell you a little about the major events and priority plans of our project office. The next slide, please. And the next slide. The next slide, please. Thank you. And the next. As you know, 2020 was the year of Russia BRICS chairmanship. By the way, the next year will be the year of chairmanship of Russia too also. Russia held lots of BRICS events that year, and so at the end of November 2020, Ulyanovsk hosted the 6th International Youth BRICS Summit and the meeting of youth ministers. The next slide, please. One of our annual events is the International Youth Forum on Public Diplomacy, Interest, where participants get immersed in the conceptual fields of public diplomacy and learn about the most striking and successful cases implemented in different countries. By the way, a couple of hours ago was a wonderful round table. I was very inspired of the experts. Thank you, organizers, very much. All in all, 160 participants from 15 Eurasian countries have already learned the basics of intercultural dialogue, project management, resource provision of project, and developed around 30 projects on public diplomacy. This year, please, next slide. The next slide. The next slide. No. This year, on the 11th and 12th of April, we will be holding this forum for the third time, dear participants, online. And of course, we invite everyone to participate on it. To do it, I can show you the QR code, and you can send us the application form scanning this QR code. Okay. Okay. Creative Cooperation Program, UNESCO Creative Cities of the BRICS countries. Now, previous slide, please. As some of you may know, my city, Ulyanovsk, was the first Russian city to join the UNESCO Creative Cities network in 2015 as the City of Literature. All in all, there are 41 UNESCO Creative Cities in the BRICS countries now. 6 of them are in India. So it was a really interesting online traveling, this project. More than 300 people from 25 countries of the world took part in 6 online meetings where representatives of 28 cities belonging to the UNESCO Creative Cities Network and located on the territory of the 5 BRICS countries shared their unique experience and reasons that had allowed their municipalities to obtain the status of UNESCO Creative City. The project took the first place in the Russian Event Awards 2022. The next slide, please. From February to July, we are conducting the project, the BRICS Ornaments. This is a cultural and educational project dedicated to the theme ornament as a cultural and ornament as the ethnographic code of a nation. Indian team, by the way, prepared absolutely gorgeous historical ornaments. The main purpose of the project is preservation and promotion of the cultural heritage of BRICS countries. The next slide, please. 2 years, okay, creative solutions for the BRICS cities development is a project that is planned to be held also in the second half of this year in a hybrid format. It is a complex of events and includes 3 levels: competitions of creative ideas, conference UAT creative cities of the BRICS plus countries, creative cooperation in action, and events within the framework of the 5th BRICS plus International Municipal Forum in St. Petersburg. Please, the next slide. Thank you. Dear colleagues, we are going to create the BRICS Multicultural Center, which will combine the features of a cultural center, museum space, and educational center, and a conference hall. The next slide. In the second half of 2023, the project office is planning to hold BRICS Melody, traditional musical instruments in the history of the countries. It involves conducting research on traditional national musical instruments of the BRICS countries. The next slide. Our next project is BRICS Universe. It is a large photo exhibition consisting of photographs of the BRICS countries and UNESCO creative cities within the BRICS, captured by Russian cosmonauts during their space expeditions to the International Space Station. We are going to implement this project next year. Dear participants, how do we create our project? The next slide, please. Yes. First, we have a brainstorm with community, choose an interesting and promising idea. Then we develop this idea. If we need resources, we raise funds or apply for a grant competition and then implement the project. We also invite cooperation at all levels and promote multilateral relations between the youth of our countries. The next slide. I'm finishing. Media volunteering is a new option for those who would like to take part in the projects in the Russia BRICS Youth Project Office and share the information about them in their media resources. It's very good experience and it is a very effective practice. And the next slide, please. Today, in the era of the global tension and instability, calmness and confidence in the future can be given by the understanding that cultural values for the youth of all BRICS countries are unshakable and common. So I guess this is pretty much, dear colleagues. Please stay in touch, follow us in our social media and share your thoughts. And because your ideas can be the basis of our new joint projects. Thank you for your attention. Okay.
Okay. Yes, our colleagues were saying about the signing procedure right now, not to wait till the end. So let me first introduce the head of the Eurasian Assembly, India. From the Indian side, it's going to be Chairman for Chairman BRICS CCI.
We remove the chairs and stand and do it.
Yeah. Let's first start with okay, we start the signing procedure, the cooperation agreement between all the congratulations us.
I think I'll be covered.
Let's start the signing procedure of the cooperation agreement between International Union of Non-Governmental Organizations, Eurasian People's Assembly, and the BRICS Chamber of the International Union of Non-Governmental Organization, Eurasian People's Assembly, in the person of Secretary General Galina Pandeyevich, acting on the basis of the statute, and the BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the person of the chairman, BBL Card, signing this agreement right now. Okay. And last but not the least is the yes, there is a next document, another one. We have yes, one more, and this is cooperation agreement between Eurasian People's Assembly and the yes. And yeah, and the Federation of Young Leaders. The International Union of Non-Governmental Organizations Assembly represented by the Secretary General and the Confederation of Youth Leaders represented by the President Samit Shastri. Yes, and done all the procedures. Let's go back to the round table.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Durgesh?
Your colleagues need to continue our presentation of community. We're still on? Yes. We're continuing.
Yes, we're continuing.
Yeah, we have plenty of speakers, so we need to present the youth movement. Sorry for such an interruption. And I suppose there is some presenters from the Indian side.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with them. And then we move to Belarus because we have a very good partner from Belarus State kind of University. We're going to be next. First, we start from India and then going step by step.
Now, I would like to invite Nitin Agarwal, who is the National Coordinator for Indian National Congress, as well as developer. He's a digital marketer, a very known face in the
Real youth movement is now happening.
Good afternoon, friends and esteemed guests. It is my extreme honor to speak at the Eurasian People's Assembly. My name is Nitin Agarwal. I am National Coordinator for Social Media and Digital Communications for Indian National Congress. I'm founder of Design Hopes, a growing digital marketing agency in India. In my role, I understand firsthand the power of digital marketing and how it can be used to reach a wide range of audiences. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with the power of digital marketing and how it has revolutionized the way we do business and engage with our audience. But what you may not know, just how powerful digital marketing really is and amazing impact it had on our global lives. Let me give you a few examples. With digital marketing, we can engage with our customers, constituents, and stakeholders in a more meaningful way. No matter what their location is, we can now reach a wider global audiences faster and at a lower cost than ever before. We can even target our messages to specific audiences and tailor our content accordingly. On the political side, digital marketing has enabled us to reach out to potential voters and build relationships with them. No matter their nationality, we can now target our messages to specific audiences and tailor our content accordingly, which has allowed us to build a powerful connection with our constituents. Apart from politics and business, digital marketing is also a powerful tool for creating positive change and achieving the sustainable development goals fought by the United Nations. Through digital marketing, organizations can spread awareness about the SDGs and raise funds for their implementation. By leveraging digital marketing, business and organizations can also promote ethical practices and responsible consumptions of resources. In conclusion, Digital marketing is transforming the way we do business and engage with our audiences, no matter their nationality. It has revolutionized the way we reach our target audiences and build relationships with them on a global scale. Thank you for your time and attention. I hope together we can build a space where practices like digital marketing can flourish and grow their maximum potential. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and now the floor is given to Prисоединяйтесь, Vice Director of Educational Work at the Belarusian State Economic University, PhD in Economics, and a very good partner. You online? Can you hear us?
Скриба Сергей Иванович отлучился на минуточку. У нас здесь свое мероприятие. Можно немножко позже его заявить?
Okay. So now, let's.
Yeah, I don't know. Rahul Pandey.
Yeah, right here.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So film director, founder of project We Are Travelers, producer. Oh, sounds very exciting. Just like that, we are going to explore something about.
Namaste, my global
world.
community. First of all, I want to express my gratitude, Madam Svetlana, for giving me this opportunity to represent my project on Eurasian platform. Before I start telling about my project, let me introduce myself. I am Rahul Himanti Pandey, filmmaker and director of Himanti Production. After working in Bollywood, Indian TV and film industry for 15 years, now I'm making documentaries, travel shows, TV series and film for TV channel and mass of media. My primary goal as a filmmaker is turn intangible into tangible. I have always wanted to make something good for humanity that is spread to love and peace every corner of earth. Hence, our team is in a process making a travel documentary film called We Are Travelers. It will be a message to world featuring funny, heart-touching, heart-wrenching, inspirational, and life-changing experiences in the form of TV series dedicated to peace in the world. The best stories for the movies are lives of people, our inner world. Also, you can ask me the questions why I'm representing my project here. And my answer is simple. We are looking for support for people belonging to all walks of life for our international project. Especially people who go by the hard way, who have the dream to create something worthwhile and real. They will understand us. I'm sure they will understand us. We want to create a worthwhile, a real film that will be inspire the people, explore life, love, and peace. Of course, there will be many questions from your side. It is important for you to understand how this film can be useful for yourself and for other people of the world. Let me explain briefly about We Are Travelers through a video presentations. After, if you have any questions, you can visit our website or you can contact me by social network. Thank you so much for your patience and your support. Namaste, We Are Travelers.
Namaste. And now we can share.
What is the meaning of life? What is death? What is the purpose of life? Why are we here? How can we find it? And where are we running? What can give us satisfaction? Human life is meant for reviving one's eternal relation with the Lord. All religious injunctions are meant for awakening this dormant instinct of the living entity. Living this brief period called life is like trekking on a mountain. Despite the monumental differences, whether it is our physical being or the mental experiences we face during this journey, we need to hold on to our humanity. We Are Travelers is a project which shows the journey of human life on Earth. As you know, our world is tainted by violence. Our world needs more peace and fewer wars. We Are Travelers should inspire the viewers to pay attention to their inner world and bring about their inner peace. It will remind them about the value of friendship within countries, between religions and nationalities all over the world. Also, the documentary will inspire the audiences to take their own initiative and make their contributions to environmental protection, as well as it helps to find the answers to some eternal questions. So come with us. Together we will explore this amazing phenomenon called life and the ultimate enigma attached to it. The questions: who am I? What is my purpose on this planet? Spread your love and peace. We are travelers.
Nice to be a traveler. Okay, and now we have onliners. So the floor is given to Evgeny Borisovich Molin, Chairman of the International Cooperation Committee of Novosibirsk Mayor's Office. Can you hear us?
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги, дорогие друзья. Надеюсь, меня хорошо слышно. Хотел бы поприветствовать вас из далекого сибирского города Новосибирска, поблагодарить вас за эту возможность представить наш город и поделиться своими планами. Новосибирск является третьим по численности населения городом Российской Федерации после Москвы и Санкт-Петербурга. Ему всего 130 лет, но за это время он стал крупнейшим муниципальным образованием России, крупнейшим транспортным, научным, промышленным центром Сибири. В нашем городе очень насыщенная культурная жизнь, что высоко ценят как новосибирцы, так и гости нашего города. И наши жители с большим уважением относятся к древней культуре минской цивилизации. Наши страны связывает долгая история плодотворных отношений, в том числе и в области культурных, молодежных обменов. Поэтому мы надеемся, что между жителями Новосибирска и гражданами Индии может установиться хороший диалог, который приведет к реализации совместных проектов, в том числе, как я уже сказал, в культурной сфере и в сфере молодежных обменов. В этом году нашему городу исполняется 130 лет, и мы планируем отметить это событие, этот юбилей обширной культурной программы. И, пользуясь случаем, мы хотели бы пригласить как индийские, так и российские молодежные организации к сотрудничеству с тем, чтобы провести у нас в городе на наш юбилей культурные молодежные мероприятия, которое могло бы включать День йоги, фестиваль молодежного кино, включая короткометражные фильмы, анимационные фильмы, которые могли бы демонстрироваться как в Новосибирске, так и в Индии, в том числе на открытых площадках, таких как парки, скверы и прочие места большого скопления зрителей. Также это мероприятие могло бы включать совместные выставки, например, выставки детских рисунков по теме «Индия глазами российских детей», «Россия глазами индийских детей». Мы также могли бы совместно подумать о проведении фестиваля, молодежного фестиваля современного искусства. Ну и объединить все это в некое культурное мероприятие под названием Дней Индии в городе Новосибирске. Поэтому еще раз хотели бы пригласить к сотрудничеству организаций, которые заинтересованы в нем. Мои координаты, мои контактные данные есть у организаторов круглого стола. Поэтому еще раз спасибо вам за эту возможность и надеюсь на сотрудничество. И будем рады видеть вас в Новосибирске. Спасибо.
Thank you so much. And now let's give the floor to Shileva, of the Association of Russian-Speaking Youth of Portugal. Daria, can you hear us?
Yes, good morning, here I am. So probably I will have my speech in Russian. That will be much easier for me. But anyway, that's a great pleasure to be here with you today. Видимо, где-то вместе со мной работает микрофон. Ага, отлично. Доброе всем раннее португальское утро. Очень рада быть сегодня здесь вместе с вами. Постараюсь быть краткой. Я предполагаю, что я одна из немногих представителей европейской части нашего большого и замечательного континента. И это, безусловно, носит свои отпечатки на нашу работу в последний день в связи с достаточно тяжелой политической ситуацией, такой предконфликтной, сказала бы я, между Россией и Европейским Союзом, но, тем не менее, мы не унываем, мы продолжаем вести нашу работу в контексте наших соотечественников русскоязычных. Их количество сейчас в Португалии непосредственно увеличилось. Мы по максимуму стараемся продолжать работу, начатую нами буквально несколько лет назад, как молодежная организация. Организация достаточно молодая, не до конца успевшая, я бы сказала, раскрыть свои крылья, но ничего страшного. В принципе, основная часть нашей работы пролегает в сфере взаимодействия с молодыми соотечественниками. Это касается молодежных лагерей, смен для подростков и различного рода культурных мероприятий для русскоязычных жителей Португалии и португальцев, которые непосредственно заинтересованы в знакомстве с русской культурой. Правда, последний год это было делать гораздо сложнее, но я бы могла сказать, что 70% той традиционной программы, которую мы ежегодно проводим, они сохранились. Также в этом году мы усиленно работаем над межвузовским сотрудничеством не только с российскими, но и с различными с вузами других стран. И еще один немаловажный пункт, который появился в нашей работе, это взаимодействие с диаспорами стран народов, проживающих здесь, в Португалии, так же, как мы. И я думаю, что это очень важный ключ в работе, потому что все мы находимся примерно в одинаковой, скажем так, иностранческой позиции, нам есть чем поделиться и что обсудить между собой. И из радостных новостей, что как раз-таки работа между диаспорами приносит свои яркие, важные и нужные плоды, и в этом году мы планируем несколько совместных культурного рода мероприятий. Чтобы не затягивать свое выступление, я, наверное, буду завершать. Спасибо огромное за внимание. Если вдруг появится надобность в соотечественниках в Португалии в контексте каких-то международных мероприятий, то мы всегда открыты к сотрудничеству. Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much. And I suppose we can give the floor to Chukov Roman Sergeyevich, chairman of the board of the Center for Promotion of International Initiative, chairman of the Youth Expert Community of the BRICS countries, PhD in political science. Can you hear us? Enough. Okay. Then let's give the floor to Imanullah Tibu, Chairman of the Council of Member Representatives of the Association of Indonesian Students in Russia. Tibu, we see you.
Hello, do you hear me?
The Association of Indonesian Students.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to be the pleasure to hear you. If you don't mind, we can't hear you now. Yes. Okay, maybe Sarfara Salam. Thank you. Are you with us? Yeah.
I will call Somishta Ghosh. She is the Managing Director of Entangled Finances Solutions and also a member of BRICS, to come and speak about the youth. And she's recently participated at the G20 Startup Summit, so she would like to share her views on that.
A very good, warm, good afternoon to everybody. You are in a very nice time frame in India right now. The season is beautiful. It's neither hot nor cold. I hope you're enjoying your stay here. Thank you so much, Samit, for asking me up, giving me this completely extemporary opportunity to speak. So I speak from the heart. My name is Sharmishta. Been a part of the BRICS family 3.5 years now, as a member and advising people on their business requirements. I also run a small consulting firm by the name of Intandem Global Consulting. We're spread in about 3 Indian cities as of now, 1 global destination. We do extensive consulting in the field of finance, fundraise, M&As, etc., etc. So one emerging sector, I shouldn't call it sector, it's equivalent to a very futuristic, the direction in which countries are going is young entrepreneurship, better known as startups. So I'll have a very small insight on how the startup scene is looking in India, hopefully the same in Russia as well. I have a lot of colleagues there who can probably give me more insights as we go ahead. So India is now the 2nd largest startup destination in the world, not only in the number of startups that are getting incubated and formed every year, but also by the quality of startups that are getting incubated or they're developing in India, in terms of tech or in terms of sectors, etc., etc. Keeping that in mind, this year, as we're aware, we're chairing the G20. We have started in the G20, under the G20 umbrella. For the first time, there is a program which is known as Startup 20. It's happened for the first time, and it will be a part of all G20 summits going ahead. I was fortunate to attend the Startup 20 and the B2B summits of the G20 in beautiful city of Gangtok just a couple of days back. So I could see a lot of partnerships developing, Government of India being very aggressive in the field of startup incubation through its initiatives as Startup India, Atal Innovation Mission, the National Skill Development Mission, etc., etc. So from this amazing platform with all of you learned colleagues traveling to India, I would probably ask Samit, because we have the capacity of becoming a nodal agency, he being working with the youth for a long time now, that if we can envisage something which can act as a platform where the startups from India as well as Russia can have a great exchange of ideas, a great exchange of technology, great exchange of people-to-people connect, and I would hope if BRICS and CYL can probably take up the responsibility and become a nodal agency along with the Eurasian People's Assembly. So then I will think that we are doing something for the youth going ahead. We are creating more entrepreneurship. And with that thought, I think that it's more than a thought. It's what was very fresh in my mind. I expressed it.
We are definitely looking into, and we are already working on that. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
Now we
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You support you're supporting the startups. What areas?
See, the incubation atmosphere, what an incubation does is it does mentorship, helps with tech, and also helps with all kinds of fundraise and getting the right people in the right place. So through my organization, the things that I do is I connect startups with already established incubators.
I meant the directions of economy.
We do raise funds for them.
No. So the idea behind the startup, we are into multiple levels. Mostly 60% of the startups are focusing on the service industry right now. Our focus on Make in India is very prominent. Atmanirbhar Bharat, what the Prime Minister envisions, is promoting the manufacturing sector. So we are drastically promoting manufacturing where there are free trade zones being created in the economic space, where there are startups are getting tax free time of 7 years. A lot of new policies have been made in favor of them so that the tax, the startup space can grow. So this is, I can give you a brief idea right now, but if you want a detailed report, we do have it in the chamber. I'll ask Ankita to share it with you so that you can go through the different sectors that right now India is into. Right?
Interesting. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your question. And now can we give the floor to Kravchenko Denis Borisovich, Chairman of the SCO Youth Council, Deputy of the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation. Please, Denis Borisovich, the floor is yours.
Добрый день, как слышно меня?
Very nice, thanks.
Отлично. Уважаемые коллеги, дорогие друзья, я рад вас приветствовать на этой дискуссионной площадке. Сегодня мы с вами, без сомнения, находимся в принципиально новом мире, который отличается высокой турбулентностью. К сожалению, за последние годы мы стали свидетелем глобальных мировых кризисов, оказавших серьезное влияние на Евразийский регион и мир в целом. Международная и региональная ситуация продолжает претерпевать сложности и глубокие изменения, а устойчивое развитие различных стран по-прежнему сталкивается с серьезными вызовами. Значительно возросшие нестабильность и неопределенность вызывают неподдельное беспокойство за будущее развитие молодого поколения не только стран региона, но и всей планеты в целом. Необдуманность и недальновидность политики экономического давления со стороны Запада, неизбирательных экономических санкций подвергает значительному риску сложившиеся торгово-экономические и производственно-логистические связи во всем мире, негативно влияют на финансовые и энергетические рынки, способствуют стагнации мировой экономики, подрывают глобальную продовольственную безопасность, создают острые вызовы устойчивому развитию наименее экономически развитых стран и регионов планеты. Сказывается на жизни и средствах к существованию многих людей, а также порождает новые гуманитарные проблемы. Мы уже наблюдаем, что одним из главных пострадавших сторон в этом экономическом конфликте в том числе стало население самого Запада и европейского региона в частности. Развивающиеся страны, где живет большинство населения мира, не должны насильственно втягиваться в конфронтацию и вынужденно страдать от последствий геополитических столкновений между крупными державами. Очевидной становится потребность многих развивающихся стран в уходе от концепции глобализма и ориентации на западные принципы, а также в установлении новых правил игры на международной арене, правил, основанных на уважении всех участников международных отношений, учета и непоколебимости принципа верховенства суверенитета. В мире по-прежнему превалируют тенденции упрочнения многополярного мира. Большинство государств заинтересованы в равноправном участии в мировом разделении труда, формировании собственных приоритетов развития, укреплении единой и неделимой безопасности. Поэтому возврат к гегемонии одной нации в текущих условиях невозможен. Во многом заслуга наступления плюрализма, направлений социально-экономического развития, поощрения многообразия культур и межнационального диалога, развития региональных и международных интеграционных проектов во многом лежит на таких активных международных организациях, как Шанхайская организация сотрудничества. Краеугольным камнем ШОС является конструктивная политика по отношению ко всем, без исключения государствам, без привязки к выборной модели государственного и социально-экономического интереса, но с учетом коренных интересов и потребностей народов. Отмечу, что высокий уровень конструктивного взаимодействия между странами-участницами и общее стремление к созданию атмосферы стабильности и созидания внутри ШОС привлекает все больше симпатий по всему миру. Параллельно с этим страны Шанхайской организации сотрудничества выглядят островками стабильности и в нарастающем как снежный ком экономическом кризисе. Делая интересы граждан и взаимное уважение к партнерам основами внешней политики, мы можем быть уверены, что и в дальнейшем сможем на партнерских условиях обеспечивать экономическую стабильность друг друга. Дорогие друзья, я буквально в пятницу прошедшую вернулся из Нью-Дели, где мы проводили молодежный саммит ШОС и были очень тепло приняты нашими партнерами, нашими друзьями, общественным министром по спорту и молодежи Республики Индия и другими коллегами, общались с парламентариями. И, конечно, очень здорово, что ШОС и молодежный совет, в частности ШОС, активно прирастает новыми партнерами. Нас сегодня 8, и мы ожидаем вступлению в ближайшее время, в течение года, возможно, новых 2 партнеров. Это Иран и, конечно, Беларусь. Только вместе, уважая интересы друг друга и отказываясь от одностороннего навязывания собственной политики, мы сможем построить новую экономическую систему, которая придет на замену устаревшей западной модели, когда интересы отдельных государств стоят выше интересов других. Текущая международная социально-экономическая ситуация формирует острый запрос на расширение вовлеченности молодежи и молодежных сообществ Евразийского региона в решение актуальных вызовов и угроз, совместную разработку проектов и программ, направленных на расширение сотрудничества в культурно-гуманитарной, торговой, экономической и других сферах. Мы чувствуем повышение востребованности в этих условиях к расширению созидательного диалога молодежи наших стран, поколения, которому в будущем предстоит формировать новую архитектонику международных отношений и более справедливого многополярного миропорядка. Убежден, что молодое поколение должно оставаться важным действующим элементом в развитии своих государств и продвижении идеологии шанхайского духа, направленного на устойчивое развитие своих стран, и надеюсь на скорейшее восстановление системы всеобщей безопасности, а также на достижение прочного мира и социально-экономической стабильности на всей планете. В рамках своей работы в молодежном совете ШОС мы вот уже на протяжении 14 лет обогащались взаимным опытом реализации совместных молодежных проектов, рука об руку работали над решением вопросов укрепления связей и взаимопонимания между молодежью наших стран, добились значимых результатов в своей деятельности. Я рад видеть моего друга, председателя Конгресса молодежи Кыргызстана Аскара Тактарбековича, с которым мы общались в жемчужине Кыргызстана Иссык-Куль. Совместно были реализованы новые форматы и инициативы в рамках развития молодежного сотрудничества, специализированные тематические форумы и сессии, совместные бизнес-инкубаторы, проекты, открывающие для молодых людей новые возможности для общения. Важной инициативой в этой работе стала международная платформа ШОС в области культуры и туризма Join Pro. Во время пандемии COVID-19 этот проект проявил себя с новой стороны и стал по-настоящему международным, охватив более 400 городов, расположенных на 5 континентах. Более 60 стран уже присоединились к этому проекту. С повестки нашей совместной работы не исходят задачи выработки предложений по совершенствованию механизмов борьбы с терроризмом, незаконным оборотом наркотиков, трансграничной оргпреступности, финансированием экстремизма и терроризма за счет наркотрафика, с вовлечением молодежи в данную незаконную деятельность, распространением в молодежной среде наших государств деструктивных идеологий, а также с рисками в информационной сфере. Российская национальная часть и впредь намерена расширять взаимодействие с партнерами по молодежному совету ШОС в деле выработки совместных путей решения насущных вопросов в молодежной сфере посредством установления прямого диалога между органами государственной власти и гражданским обществом, повышение уровня консолидации органов государственной власти и общественных организаций в работе с молодежью, формированию единых гуманистических устремлений и подходов к решениям проблем в молодежной среде. Уважаемые коллеги, у меня на этом все. Я от всей души благодарю организаторов и участников этого форума. И спасибо за приглашение. Молодежный совет ШОС, я лично, депутат Государственной Думы Кравченко, открыты к диалогу и готовы к выстраиванию дальнейших конструктивных отношений и теплых дружеских связей на евразийском пространстве. Спасибо.
Thank you. It highlighted the role of Belarus in the development of STO. So I hope that Sergey Ivanovich now is ready. So if you don't mind, can you hear us? I see he is in the list, but I'm not sure that he can attend. Сергей Иванович, вы нас слышите? Can I ask you to write, вы можете написать в чате? Мне кажется, можно в чате написать или лично. Okay. Then let's give the floor to, let's use Registry, please.
Emanuela, who chairman of the Council of Member Representatives of the Association of Indonesian Students in Russia. Could we have?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will open up my camera. Okay. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. But my camera, I think, is not really good, so I will just close it. Okay. So thank you very much for the invitation that Eurasian People Assembly invited me. But can you see the presentation? Okay. So my topic today, because this is like some kind of discussion, so I look forward for some kind of questions and then Q&A sections. So my title today is Development Prospects of the New Generation of Eurasia, Learning from the Best Practice. So I'm not over proud, some kind of Indonesian movement, students and everything, but this is like what I thought, and we in Indonesia, like we have some kind of projects in terms of foreign policy. So here we are. So it was before in 1902, I think it was created from Indonesian students that studied in Netherlands. in Holland before our Independence Day. So can you see the movement of my presentation? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, this movement is the new, it was before the Independence Day in 1902, and it was moved by the amount of youth movement that were, let's say, sent by the government of Hindi, not Hindi, I'm sorry, from the Holland, because we call it was this because we were colonized by the Dutch, and a lot of them were sent by the Dutch colonizers to Holland to study there. So because of that kind of education and everything, the young people, Indonesian people, they just caught that they need to represent their own country, they represent their own land, and they made these organizations. So it was like, I think, the first young organization in Indonesia, because it even before the Independence Day. So right now it's developing, and currently we have 32 Indonesian Students Association in 62 countries in 3 regions. And you can see in the photos right here, it's our first Vice President of Republic of Indonesia, Muhammad Hatta. So time has flies, and right now we are developing the new kind of movement, basically on the intercultural movement. And this is like we did before in the Jambi, in the Indonesia, because Jambi is one of the provinces in Indonesia. And right now we are developing how to connect between Russian and Indonesian people throughout the language, I think, and also about the promotion of educational systems, about university in Russia, for example, and also research and engineering. But in the terms of...
Can you please renew your presentation? Because we see the only one slide.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see it right now? The whole presentation. Okay. Okay, so the thing that I said about the second about the Indonesian students movement that was founded by one of our former first Vice President of Republic of Indonesia, Muhammad Hatta, and this is him. So the next slide is we are right now developing the new kind of students movement, but basically on the people's diplomacy. In Russia, they call it народная дипломатия. And I think this is like one of the key movement, because right now there is some kind of globalization that lots of countries just, I mean, like the border of the countries is not that kind of possible to qualify as a barrier to from people to people talk, you know. So right now our development is we are doing the promotion of Indonesian and Russian cultures, and also education and research diplomacy, but between the uchone, or between the scientists and scientists, or between the high level of people with high level of people. But we are doing it on the grassroots, because people on the grassroots, like we've seen all of those people, they do not understand like what is like diplomacy thing, like high level diplomacy and everything, because diplomats in Indonesia, basically it's about, oh, these like high upper people, like they will talk like, I don't know, some kind of terms that we will not understand. But on the grassroots, it's very simple thing. They just need connection between people. So we did that. So I think we've found some kind of equations for something like that. So because the foreign policy of Indonesia is basically of non-alignment movement, I think we were on the same page with India. We were, and also India, Egypt, Indonesia, and other countries were the founding fathers of the non-alignment movement, or NAM. And also this is very, very relevant to this current situations. But we smoothly move from the very, let's say, upper level diplomacy we integrated to the students and youth movements. I think you all know that students and youth are the motor of the countries, every single countries. Even in every single crisis, youth and students are the very, let's say, fuel to the movement. But also, that's why I mentioned here underground movement. It's not like kind of political or maybe coup, something like that, but it's more about the grassroots. So it's also connected to the bottom-up movement. But I think the most important thing about diplomacy, or being connected to, or maybe making some connection between countries, between peoples, is about the people's connection. So what do we need? Not basically in terms of business, maybe, because right now we are speaking more about, okay, we have this kind of business deal and we have kind of this business deal. We need this, we need this. So it's basically transactional relationship. So in the youth and students movement that we are doing right now, we are doing it in more of like people to people, like heart to heart talking. So basically we are building the, let's say, a seed for our next generation. I think this is like the very important thing that we should point out about the diplomacy between youth in every single countries. So thank you very much. If you need something to ask or something, please contact me in my Telegram. Thank you.
Now we are giving the floor to Chukov Roman Sergeyevich, Chairman of the Board of the Center for Promotion of International Initiative, Chairman of the Youth Expert Community of the BRICS countries, PhD in Political Science. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Can I be heard?
Yeah.
Greetings from Moscow. Nice to meet you all. So today I wanted to tell you about this short but productive history of our youth cooperation on several tracks. We began our work as BRICS Youth Dimension in 2013-2014, and then it was a good experience for BRICS countries to unite for the first BRICS Youth Summit in Russia, in Kazan. Then it was held by our Youth Ministry, Federal Agency of Youth Affairs of Russia, in Ulyanovsk in 2020. And still many initiatives and joint projects keep developing from that time. So this regarding BRICS, what was also interesting, with BRICS partners all these years, we were partnering on the sidelines of the G20 Youth Forum, of Y20 Summit, Youth G20, and BRICS countries were always standing on the similar positions and acting as one, let's say, one force, one exciting force, which was actually not against some other countries, but jointly promoting those initiatives and projects which are beneficial for the young people of our countries, which was very important all the time when we are doing this, including this year. The Y20 Summit is going to be in India. Russian Federation, in the face of the Russian Federal Youth Agency and Center for International Promotion, has recruited the delegation through the nationwide contest. And we are happy that our country will be presented very decently this time by the professionals who are already working in different dimensions and studying in such universities like MGIMO or Chennai University. So what else? In 2018, based on our network we've been doing in Eurasian countries, Eurasian Economic Union and G20 countries, we have come up to an idea to build an international community of these 25 countries. We called it Friends for Leadership. Then it developed, and now the community includes, after 5 years, it includes more than 100 countries on board with around 1,000 members. And recently, the United Nations has informed us that our application for receiving the consultative status of ECOSOC is positively considered, and we are going to receive it very soon, according to all the procedures. So it shows that the work which we started from the BRICS level with the G20 level, which now is called International Community of Talented Change Makers and Entrepreneurs Friends for Leadership. It worked as an idea, and we keep growing it. We keep communicating with our partners and our members, and of course, all young leaders, those who have real cases, real projects, and best practices which they can share, they are more than welcome. I'm always open for contact, so please, if you want to join the community, you should just let me know through any of the social media. You can find us everywhere. So yes, thank you for your attention. I believe that Russia in the upcoming years will be playing more and more integral part for the youth dimensions of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Eurasian Economic Union, for BRICS, for G20, for other UN activities. And even within this transformational, let's say, geopolitical environment, I still believe that Russian youth has all the potential to share everything which Russia can share with the world, and that our youth diplomacy and civil society diplomacy, combined with expert diplomacy, diplomacy of parliamentarians, will help us overcome this difficult, uncertain geopolitical times, and the new realities which will be formed on our eyes within these several years, which is already happening, will be more and more beneficial to Russia and our BRICS partners. Thank you very much.
That's all. Thanks. Yeah. Now we hear Magnus Paul, Managing Director at the Clean Energy Systems. Sorry if I mispronounce it some yet, but the floor is yours.
Thank you. Namaste. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to see you all here because through BRICS, we are into manufacturing of solar panels, LED lights, totally engineering products, and we have offerings to secure the food chain, food supplies, whatever the producers in farms. We have integrated some projects through solar energy, completely working on solar energy, like whatever leaf vegetables are there, fruits are there. We all know that the preservation of these foods items being maintained, like the dehydration of the same, so cold storage, the quick frozen. These technologies are being used to preserve the food items. We have done it through solar only, so no dependency of electricity. We have complete range to process the leaf vegetables, dry fruits, extracting the oils also, and submersible pumps for agricultural use. So we manufacturing, have a factory at Hathras near Agra. And it's pleasure to meet you here. We believe that youth can change the future of the world, even changing the future of the world in coming times and nowadays also. So our offerings are to create a more entrepreneurs with the youth, or maybe the entrepreneurs who are already in business. They can diversify to this agri business, which is a long promising business. Every country nowadays is running to have a food security, And creation of the employment is the major part because the government jobs are limited, and these offerings are very, very useful for social security, self-reliant society we can give you by offering our projects. So this can be used in a wide way. In every country this is required because these are totally independent from any source of power. Don't need the electricity, don't need any thermal energy, not any nuclear energy. It's totally depend on the solar energy. So I have not been allowed to show my presentation, but I can share my catalogs in digital form. So you can go with the website also, can study the catalog, and we can be connected later.
Thank you. Now we're going to the end of this session, but let me present the Garchika Fund. As I told before, I'm a representative here of this organization as well as the member of the coordinating council of the Eurasian Youth Assembly. This fund was based in Russia, and actually it's the leader of this fund is our foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. And I would like to share with you some of the opportunities that our fund is giving. And I suppose I will just share with you some programs that can be useful for Indian side. So those who are Russians, please, let's discuss it a bit later. So can we go to the next slide? It's the story of the fund organization, how it was funded. Let's go to the next. Yes, and to the next. I will go it very briefly. Yes, next, please. And one more. Yeah, so let's start about annual events of the fund. So we basically have two directions of work, two wings. The first wing is our initial programs, so like that we do essentially every year. It's the different schools that we are promoting, and it's actually we are doing them in different regions. It can be Balkan region or Caucasus in Russia, or Russian Federation, for example, St. Petersburg, or others. And we have very nice programs, for example, the diplomatic seminar for youth specialists, and you can freely join this program and go to them just using our website and apply for these programs. Okay, next slide. Yes, this also others programs that you can check on our website. They are all very different in terms of agenda. It's I would say that it's mostly a regional one. So we are discussing some regional programs. If you are, for example, research some, I know you have Russian studies and you're very into this point, you can join different programs like diplomatic or, for example, Caucasian dialogue. It's mostly about how Russia integrates with those country and region. And also we have School of Central Asia, and this year it's going to be the new program. We're going to have Asian dialogue, which is for actually South Asia, and the main problems that is going to be there presented by different panels. There is going to be some South Asian problems connected with conflicts, connected with the political system, development of businesses, and others. Next slide, please. And we have a very interesting program that actually we, I suppose we are an only one fund in Russia that gives money to foreign NGOs. And we give money to basically different projects connected with international relations. You can see something here. These programs are connected with a Russian foreign minister agenda. And if you have an NGO or some social cooperation organization, you can join this program. We have special courses where you can where you can get very nice program about how to apply for grants, how to work with grants in terms of Russian system. And so I suppose let's go to the next slide. that it's very important for you in India, because many of you were talking about different youth movement and projects and stuff that connected with young leaders, how to connect them, how to make their project come true. And I believe that grant support can solve all these problems. Okay, next slide, please. And we have a very another point, like another wing of our work is connected with expert mobility support, or it's called sometimes, we have another thing, is the Russian view. Russian view is mostly for Russians, but speaking about expert mobility support, it's very cool, because if you are, for example, represent a kind of a university, or for example, research association, or you're doing some research connected with Russia, or you are willing to join some Russian institution and you don't have enough money to get to Russia, you can basically address to us and send us a letter, and we can give you some kind of support in that. And also we work in the same field for our Russians, then we give money to join other conferences outside of Russia. Okay, next. This is the priority areas of the fund, but you can look for them because the year has already changed, so they're going to be a bit different, but still they are the same. Sometimes because we are speaking about international security, we are keen into the problems of integration processes. We are developing some ideas connected with regions, so we are looking for globalist agenda and others. Okay, next. And if you want to follow our programs or join all of these programs that I told you, this is the essential programs that the fund is doing by ourselves. You can, or grant program if you want to raise some money for your project, or if you need money to travel to scientific agendas, to scientific program or research project, you can all the time write to us. Here is the our website, and also we have our social media pages. Okay, that's all. If you have questions, you can ask me later, but I would like to highlight that we have plenty of programs, and we're trying to do it like in terms of all the time. I would say it's for free, so you can have a grant and go to Russia. Very nice opportunity. Okay. And now we still have some participants. Let's give the floor to the students of the Russian University. No, Lagaha Sofia Alexandrovna, Youth Minister of International and Foreign Economic Relations of Mailto region, CDSN Youth Russia Project Manager, Partnership Development Specialist of the Urku Sustainable Development Center, Deputy Head of International Cooperation. Sofia, can you hear us? Yeah, you have like 7 minutes up, so please.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be on the same professional level as you do now there. So I would like to kindly ask our organizers to broadcast my presentation that I have sent before. While it's opening, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sofia Lagoha. Currently, I will be presenting as the UN SDSN Youth Russia Project Officer, and my topic will be about the opportunities and advocates of Russian youth in the sustainable development. Dear organizers, can you please broadcast my presentation so I can follow with it? Is it possible to turn on the presentation?
Yeah.
Yes, for now I'm online from Yekaterinburg, from the heart of Urals, a great city in Russia. If you haven't been there yet, you are kindly welcomed to our nice city. Yes, and please broadcast the slideshow. Thank you. So my report is connected with youth initiatives towards sustainable development by the example of our work organization. Next slide, please. I would like to tell you in brief, I will talk about our organization, our main projects, the opportunities and tools for advocacy we have, publications we do, and if you might have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them. Next slide, please. So SDSN Youth was actually founded not that long time ago in 2015. 3 years ago was founded in 2012. The general SDSN, first it was connected only with universities, but then in 2015 the youth network has been founded to empower young people around the world to create sustainable solutions and to improve the actions towards sustainability. Next slide, please. As for now, we have more than 23 national networks, 127 countries are the members. We have managed to found in the global scale, the SDSN, more than 530 solutions, and now 750 members, organizations, and now our network of volunteers is pretty big as well. We have more than 45,000 volunteers. In the next slide, talking about the other programs that we have, we also focus on working with universities. We have SDG Students Program. In this program, we are working in creating SDG hubs in the universities, which might be interesting for you. The other point that also might be the point of interest is global schools. It's a project when we work with the schools and we implement the program on SDG study for school students. The other networks that we have is startups and other work with NGOs and fellowships for individuals as well. We also might have internships. We always publish them in our media sources, which will be shared in the last slide. In the next slide, I would like to cover that SDFN Russia has 23 members organizations, and our young network has, as for now, 3 member organizations. As for now, we are mostly working in the field of empowering people and empowering students. And in the next slide, there is a mission, our mission that is covered mostly in 4 directions. So we have direction of project activities. We have our main activities as in terms of publications and media work. We have founded SDG Students Hub in Moscow State University, and now in process of opening Students Hub in St. Petersburg State University. We have completed the 3 short volunteering programs, and on the regular basis conduct speeches at foreign investment and sites. Then I would like to cover the cases, the successful cases of hosting international events. One of those is Northeastern Youth Session on the forum, on the ISTAP forum in 2021. And the next slide, we may see which sites have taken part from Japan, from Korea, from Mongolia, and from China. And the next slide, we are covering our participation in Geneva Forum. No, the next slide, please. Yeah, the next. Yeah, thank you. So here we are covering our participation in Geneva Forum as well, that was hosted last year. We also have our publications on regular basis. Russian Youth Solutions Report 2021. It's already published in Russian and now in English. This year we're publishing our Youth Solutions Report 2022. And besides it, we have already published a guide against COVID-19, which was pretty relevant during the active pandemic phase. Next slide, please. Yeah, so there was a vaccination. You can also read about it if the presentation would be available for you. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, so here it's in brief about our Youth Solutions reports. We have found it that there are more commercial solutions than non-commercial solutions, and we'll be definitely glad to know about more non-commercial solutions. If the participants of this conference have any, I would be really glad to share your thoughts and your activities so we can try to implement or to include your solutions in our report of the next year. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. For now, I would like to share with you the useful resources that might be interesting for you. Here are the links for global school programs, also for our networks and for the other resources. I hope that the presentation will be available, so you can just click on the links and look at the website just right here. Next slide, please. Thank you very much for your attention. It was a very brief presentation of our organizations. We are useful for you in terms of conducting mutual scientific activity. We have pretty lot of experience in publications, and we're also now developing our media resources such as Telegram. Here is also our email. If you have any queries, any partnerships, proposals, we will be glad to work with you. If you have any questions, I'm open for that. Thank you very much for having me and Eurasian with Russia to create a sustainable world for future generations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And the last one is Soldatyenko Igor. She is a student of the Russian University, Moscow. You have just 5 minutes for your speech. Very short.
Здравствуйте. Благодарю за возможность выступить на столь интересной конференции. Тема выступления посвящена защите исторической памяти, исторической правды. Всем известно, что историческая память является важнейшим фактором интеграции на евразийском пространстве. И сейчас, в эпоху турбулентности, в эпоху геополитической нестабильности, историческая правда, она подвергается широкому воздействию различных информационных атак. Наибольшим влиянием в этом случае подвержена память о Второй мировой войне, часть которой в российской историографии получила название Великая Отечественная война. Целью всех этих информационных атак является попытка дезавуировать истинные причины Второй мировой войны и принизить роль Советского Союза, вооруженных сил Советского Союза в разгроме фашистского блока. Но страны Евразии, они могут совместно противостоять подобным интенциям, противостоять искажению истории. Так, в 2015 году в индийском городе Ченнайне в Лайол колледже в рамках празднования 70-летия победы в Великой Отечественной войне, Второй мировой войне прошла конференция, в ходе которой была сформулирована очень важная, очень четкая мысль. Честная история – это ключ к формированию доверительных отношений между народами. Кроме того, в 2020 году министры иностранных дел Российской Федерации и Китая выступили с совместным заявлением, в рамках которого выразили надежду, что все народы мира будут бережно хранить и оберегать память о Второй мировой войне, о Великой Отечественной войне и не забывать подвиг тех воинов, которые принесли миру эту победу. Только планомерная и четко выверенная культурная образовательная интеграция позволит добиться определенных успехов в противоборстве с искажением истории. И как один из вариантов можно предположить использование новых информационных и цифровых технологий для достижения и продвижения определенных нарративов, которые соответствуют исторической действительности. Это и фильмы, и сериалы, возможно, даже компьютерные игры, но те, которые продвигают нарратив, соответствующий исторической действительности. Благодарю за внимание.
We reached the end of this session. Let me give the word for the conclusion to Justice Sami.
Thank you all for coming. I know you guys have been waiting for too long. I'm not eaten. I'll not take too much time. Please move ahead. And thank you so much for coming here. It was a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, I have one point as well. Please.
I would like to thank you, Mr. Sami Chatri. It's honor to us to be here with us. And I would like to say that our Eurasian People Assembly is open for us. And join us. You can see today how many institute projects we have. And so, yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for attending this part of this big days of Eurasian Assembly. And let me say thank you, first of all, and to the Indian side, and as well to all of the participants, because it was my pleasure to hear all of these projects. And I would say that, you know, all of them can be, and they are now not just making the dreams come true, but they are real. And we need to support our youth, and it's very important. And I hope that we can really connect each other and make all of that real in real life. Okay, thank you. And now we can finish our